Hello everyone! Welcome back to our channel. So, Teks po ang pangalan ng channel natin. Subscribe po kayo. Okay, so we are on our 4th series of Learning Shorthand with Mam Teks. That's me. So, this is lesson 4. And before we move on, I would like to show you the spell notebook that we are supposed to use if you are going to learn shorthand. As you can see, there are the pages. There is a demarcation line there. It means to say that this is the space that your hand can control. That's why there's a line. So you have to write first here, complete that before moving to the next column. And then do not write at the back, only on the front pages. When you are done, when everything is done, then you start writing again from the other side of the paper so that one flip lang po siya pa ganyan. Okay? So, meron po mga mura. There are cheap kinds, but it's the same. The use is the same. You can buy those that cost only 20 or 16 pesos. This is for 53 pesos. So, before we move on to lesson 4, let's start reviewing our lessons last time. Are you paying attention, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, for our lessons 1 to 3, we took up the letter representation or sound representation for letter A. So, A, E, N, M, T, B, H, R, E, I, O, R, L. Okay? So, as I said, you keep on reading that over and over again so that it will be retained on your mind. So, you can read it at random. I, H, R, E, B, it, hindi pala mali ang it. D, M, N, E, A, O, R, L. See? Itlog ng pugo, itlog ng manok, basag na balot. O, di ba? Magkakaiba.
Basag.
Broken circle. Then we also learned about punctuations. So when you see this sign, it means to say that you have to capitalize the first letter of the word. Okay? Example, you're going to write the word E-L-A. So that means Ella. Okay? E-L-A. Capitalize the first letter of the word. Alright, and then we have here period. Example, Ella is a good girl. Period. Okay? Next, this is question mark. Question mark is represented by an X. So, what is your NAM? Question mark. What is your name? Then we have paragraph. This one is paragraph. And then we cannot form paragraph yet as of this moment. That is parenthesis. Comma is encircled to distinguish it from letter S because letter S in shorthand is represented by this outline. And then we have semicolon also encircled and colon circled. So these are our lessons 1 to 3. Now we're going to incorporate this in the next lesson, which is lesson 4, which I already previewed to you last time. So if you remember last time, I previewed that, I told you that we're going to learn today brief forms. So brief forms, pag sinabing brief, hindi short. Although sa tao, pag naka-brief ka, iba man naka-shorts. Diba? Pero in shorthand, ang brief at saka shorts po, parehas. Brief and short parehas. So, ibig sabihin, shortened outlines or abbreviated words. So, brief forms. Brief forms. If you watch part 3 of our lesson, I discussed there fast a preview of what we're going to learn today. So, brief forms, we have words. These are already represented by words. Example, a or an is represented by a dot. So, a and an
10 minutes.
is represented by n. 10 minutes na? Is represented by m. In and not is represented by n. I would like to correct me because last time when I told you, I only said not, but it's represented by, it's representing in or not, letter n. And then we have it and at represented by letter T. Would, with an L, is represented by letter D. O is represented by O. Our and our is represented by R. Will and well is represented by L. So these are the first set of reforms that we will learn. I is represented by A. So I is represented by A. So if we're going to take a look at this, guys, we form a line here. Hindi ko na po sinulatan na ng line. So these are the lines of your study notebook. From the reforms that we have here, only a few reforms, we can already form phrases. Okay? We can already form phrases out of the reforms that we have here. So if you notice, we are starting to learn, joining them together, the outlines, representation of the shorthand letters, and then to reforms the phrases. Later on, we can write sentences purely in shorthand outlines. Okay? So, example, what phrases can you form out of these reforms? I'll give you one. I and would. Diba? So that is I would. What other phrases can you form? I would and not. Pwede, diba? Pwede. I would not. I and will. Take note. Circles are written inside curves. So this one is I would not. And this one is I will. Pwede rin ang I will not. Pwede rin siya. I will not. Pwede rin yan. I and M. Ano yan? I and M. Ano yung Camille? I am. I am. Diba?
I am.
In and our. So, pwede siyang in, our, or not our. Pwede, diba? In or not. Then we have of our. So that is of our. At and our. Pwede rin siyang at our. Then you can form as many phrases by example. So when we combine reforms with the words, we can form words or phrases like, we can form phrases like I-M-I-T. Ano yun? Ano yung I-M-I-T? Nawala sa screen. I-M-I-T is I might. I-R-O-T. Ano yun? I-R-O-T. Take note. Shorthand is written according to sound. So, if you're going to separate that, I, and then R-O-T, what's the word? What's the word? I? Delegates? Row? Diba? I row. Oh. I-R-I-D. Ano yun? So, I and R-I-D. R-I-D is I ride. I ride a jeepney to school, for example. Ano pa? I-L-I-D. Ano yun? I-L-I-D. I like. Okay, so there are still others that you can form. A lot of them that you can form. Combining the preforms to form phrases, and combining the preforms and the words to form phrases. Okay guys, so here are some sentences where we incorporated all the letters that we have learned from the previous lessons. Lessons 1 to 4 to include the letters A, E, N, M, T, P, E, H, long I, and the preforms plus the punctuation. So as you can see, I've written it already here to save time. So first is E-L-A, that is Ella. Will, for the preform will or will. M-T-T, meet. L-E-E in an R, period. So, if you're going to read that, you read it as Ella will meet Lee in an R, period. Okay, for number 2, the L-E-D-R, leader. Leader, you omit minor words that are not very much sounded. So, leader. So, in between D and R, there's an E, but you omit that because that's a minor sound. So, the L-E-D-R or leader of the team will T-R-A-D, trade, his T-E-M, team in May. Capitalize that, ibig sabihin the month of May, period. Number 3, will you, D-R-I-V, drive, M-E, drive me. H-O-M, home, at night, question mark. So, will you drive me home at night? Question mark. Number 4, E-M-A, Emma, comma, A-N-A, Anna, comma, and L-E-T-E, Letty, are good friends, period. So, Emma, comma, Anna, and Letty are good friends, period. Number 5, E-D, that is Ed, will stay, H-O-M, home, semicolon. So, Eddie will stay home, semicolon. He will not go with M-E, me, period. Number 6, M-E, that's me, and M-I, my, D-A-D-E, daddy, will, R-I-T, write, A-L-E-T-R, letter, to, H-A-N-A, Hannah, period. So, if there's a capitalization sign, because that is the proper noun for the name of Anna. So, me and my daddy will write a letter to Hannah, period. So, you can form more sentences, many more sentences, guys, and later on, you can already form paragraphs out of these letters that we have had. So, for next meeting, we will have to discuss lesson 5. Okay, so that will be the sound of U, K, and G. Please continue to watch for the next series of videos to come, where we continue to teach you the other principles of shorthand until you develop the skills. So thank you so much.